This film is about a building located in the Zemgala area of Riga, Latvia. It is a prefabricated cement panel building with many apartments found in a densely populated area, alongside many similar buildings. During construction, they were made with cement blocks. This is why they are called block houses. Despite this, on the inside, residents attest to their comfort and affordability. If a house or building will last, it must be maintained. While a building is occupied, it must be constantly cleaned and taken care of. This is done so its residents feel comfortable and proud of their home. Prefabricated cement block houses are common not only in Riga, but in Berlin as well. In eastern Berlin alone, there are some 270,000 apartments and block houses. In fact, Berlin has as many block houses as there are in all of Latvia. Since 1990, over 85% of these houses in Berlin have been modernized. Apart from the buildings, renovation, gardens and greenery have been added. Playgrounds have been constructed and vast improvements in basic infrastructure have been made to the surroundings. In fact, the high visibility and success of these improvements in Berlin can serve as the model to follow in all Central and Eastern European countries.
Based on the experience Berlin has gained modernizing its own block houses, an agreement between Riga and Berlin has been reached. The agreement involves introducing modern heat energy-saving techniques. The initial pilot project will identify what needs to be done to maximize saving heat energy.
Heating of buildings accounts for 25% of the total national energy consumption. Once energy-saving techniques are used, the energy required to heat an apartment can be reduced by as much as 50%, while at the same time levels of comfort can be raised. Heat energy savings are the most important national energy reserve and the most efficient contribution to the reduction of CO2 emissions. Due to energy-saving techniques, heating remains affordable even when energy prices go up. Laura is a 4-year-old little girl. She lives in the Zemgala region of Riga, 46 Ozoltim Street. She was born and raised here. Laura likes drawing, and she has decided to draw her home today. Laura's building has become the Latvian-German pilot project. In our pilot project building, as in all uninsulated buildings, there used to be a high loss of heat energy. Heat loss can be attributed to 3 things. 1/3 of the heat is lost through the outer walls, roof and basement. 1/3 of the heat is lost through the glass of windows, and 1/3 of the heat is lost through gaps in windows and by airing rooms. The biggest problem in these buildings is that there is no way to regulate temperature except opening windows. The new facade received the most visible heat-saving changes. Firstly, the pilot project building's outer walls were covered with 8 cm thick slabs of heating insulation. Then came a supporting screen, using the latest technology. Finally, this was covered with a decorated plaster layer. After this process, heat loss was reduced by 65%. From a builder's point of view, the most important factor is that the building's outer cement walls and joints are protected from the damaging effects of wind, rain, and frost. Inner walls remain warm, with cold air reaching only the outer layer of insulation. Good heating insulation is especially important for apartments that have many outside walls, such as on corners. After insulation, the outer wall temperature remains high enough to prevent the formation of mold.
We were one of the first tenants to agree to the project. We knew what good heating insulation means and how much warmer it would be with new windows and radiators.
Jautājumi noteikti ir jums, jautājumi noteikti arī mūsu būvniecības firmā. Tātad, varbūt vispirms informēt būvniecības firmu.
Это вам надо понять. Если что-то такое, что совсем без воздуха не...
Все. Я человек слов. Все.
Я не понимаю.
The windows were bad and let the wind in. When I sat in my kitchen by the window, I often felt a cold draft. Whenever possible, we avoided sitting by the window because it was too cold. I tried to seal the windows without tape or glue. Instead, I tried using rubber seals, but the rubber seals had to be put on in several layers because the window frame was not precisely fitted. Compared to the new windows, which are precise, the old windows were practically impossible to seal because there were large gaps between the windows.
Jo viņi, bija spraugs starp logiem.
As mentioned before, 1/3 of the heat in blockhouses is lost through the glass of windows. About the same amount is lost through gaps in windows and by opening and closing them. The new package windows with double-enforced glass reduce heat loss by half through the window's surface. In fact, modern windows with plastic frames are so dense and seal so well that apartments fitted with them should be especially aired to ensure good ventilation. Ventilation canals in the new windows and air-conducting ventilation shafts ensure an apartment's basic ventilation requirements. However, while minimum ventilation is ensured, extra airing may be necessary by opening windows. Good ventilation is especially important before and after mealtime and after bedtime.
To, ka logus nomainīs, tas ir vispār kaut kas fantastisks. The replacement of the old windows with the new ones has been wonderful. These new windows let no wind in and have good ventilation. Of course, it's no secret what that means. We had an apartment where they wanted to replace the windows a year ago, but were unable to do so because we didn't have the money. This is why we're all very happy about these new windows. Unlike the old windows, the new ones keep heat in and cool drafts out. Siltums un nav caurvēja.
I like the way they replaced the windows. They work quickly and cleanly. The workers were very professional and polite.
Even before the winter months, we turned on space heaters all over the apartment to keep warm. Our electricity bill went up 20 lats in 1 month. When the winter was over, the space heaters provided too much heat, forcing us to open windows all over the apartment. In the winter, the bathroom was freezing. It was so cold that before my children could wash themselves, I had to fill the bathtub with the hottest water possible to warm the bathroom. I would wash myself first, Then once it was warm enough, I would let the children come in and bathe.
Insulating the facade and installing new windows should be complemented by modernizing the heating system as well. To maximize the energy-saving potential, the heating system in the basement must be upgraded with modern heating control and regulating technology. In addition, existing pipes in the basement must be insulated to minimize heat loss. If heating system upgrades in the basement are not so easily visible, then changes in the apartments certainly are. Old radiators were replaced with new ones complete with thermometers and heating monitors to regulate and measure heat.
I would like to turn the radiator on when I need to. I'm sensitive to cold and I need more heat than others. Then, at other times when it's too hot, I can turn it off.
So that residents can adjust temperature according to their wishes, thermostat valves have been installed on each radiator. Special meters register heat consumption on each radiator. This ensures the heating costs are calculated according to each individual apartment's heat consumption. Economic heating repays itself in the near future. Everyone who uses heating in an economic and environmentally friendly way can expect saving heating costs too. Energy-saving, environmentally friendly heating does not mean that residents should suffer from cold. Economic heating means that the temperature in an apartment can be adjusted as needed. The bedroom temperature can always be kept low if you leave your apartment for some time, or if particular rooms are not regularly used, then thermostat valves can be turned to a lower setting. Once you return, the setting can be adjusted to quickly warm the room again. Before opening a window, the thermostat valve can be turned off completely.
I think the new heating system will be much better than before, because residents will be able to regulate their own desired temperature. Even if the apartment turns out to be cooler, it'll be worth it, because you'll save money. I want to save heat, not because I want to be cold. After all, I have several small children. I want to be able to regulate the heating temperature to save money.
The facade insulation also gives the opportunity to change the building's color and patterns. The cosmetic changes to the facade were matched with residents' preferences and the guidelines of the local city planning institutions. With the new facade, the apartment building has become more beautiful on the outside. This is why it is important to repair the inside as well. Renovated blockhouses in Berlin have shown that if stairwells are also renovated, residents feel especially proud of their building. Should there be an accessible attic above the top floor, an extra layer of ceiling insulation is added. No walking is permitted on this layer of insulation. Therefore, wooden boards should be placed across the insulation layer when entering the attic. The results from the first heating season are already available. The new insulation has reduced heat loss through walls, the roof, and basement by 65%. The new windows have reduced heat loss through the glass by half. The new windows and air-conducting ventilators have reduced heating loss from airing up till now by 50%. The building's residents have taken an advantage of their new ability to regulate heating in every room. Overall, compared to the previous year before the new insulation was installed, Heat energy consumption was reduced by 55%.
The overall results of the German-Latvian blockhouse pilot project will help plan the next such project. The heat energy savings represents €6,000 per apartment, or €110 per square meter. After reconstruction, the energy spent was 70 kilowatt-hours per square meter per apartment per year. Taking into account the average income level in Latvia today, these heating cost savings represent half of the average monthly income. As heating costs increase, the importance of these savings will grow. In addition, thanks to these heating improvements, CO2 emissions will decrease as well by 1.5 tons per apartment per year. These pilot project results have been submitted to the Latvian government. Hopefully, the government will carry out this program further. The typical apartment tenant's attitude toward their apartment building has changed completely. Before, most tenants did not care what happened in their shared stairwell. Now, most tenants are concerned about every detail.
This place has really changed. It has a good energy now. Now I can really say this is our home.